So you don't often see updates to full-size SUVs in the market nowadays because, it's a smaller segment compared to the popular mid-size ones. So for you fans of the big trucks, it's a special day because we have the all-new Nissan Patrol. 7th generation, starting in 1951. Here we are. So you have your signature LED lighting and the latest version of the V-Motion grille from Nissan, and it looks pretty good, I must say. I can still see signs of the previous Patrol, but at the same time, it does feel all new. And underneath this hood, 3.5-liter V6 twin-turbo, replacing the 5.6-liter V8 that liked to chug gas before. I'm sure this one still chugs gas, but more on that later on. So over on the side, 20-inch two-tone alloy wheels. If it looks dumped right now, that's because it actually is. This thing has air suspension that runs on 4 levels. So right now, it's at its lowest setting for easy ingress. Then it goes up to normal when you're doing your city driving, whatnot. When you hit 90 kilometers per hour, it goes down a bit from the normal height. And in the opposite direction, when you go off-roading, it'll go to the max height when you select the 4x4 modes. So not much badging in the side because people will know you're driving a Patrol anyway. V6 turbo badge. You have a two-tone design, a solid boxy belt line here leading to the rear. Okay, this might be my favorite part of the design, this new rear end. Light bar, match Patrol badging, LED taillights, and a power tailgate. Hands-free, of course, the keys just inside, which opens up to all this space because this isn't just a 7-seater, it's an 8-seater. And if you want to see the seats for the 7th and 8th people, all you have to do is hit this button and they go up. You can also adjust the ride height from here in the back independently in case you're loading things. I have good news about these seats. Let's check them out inside. So we're starting from the third row instead of the front because I really want to show this to you. So unlike other third row seats in SUVs, this isn't a place for children or just your stuff waiting for the seats to be folded down. You can tell because you have a USB port, Type-C on both sides, and you have power recline control for the third row. And as you can see, it might be a tight squeeze. I am 6'2" after all, but it's actually pretty livable. And the best part is, this second row is pushed all the way back right now. So looking at it right now, I can see that I'm going to have a lot of space if I move there in front. And I can move this for even more space. But right now, maxed out for the benefit of the second row passenger, I can still actually fit. And the person next to me will fit as well. So let's hop into the second row and see what it's like. And now we're here in the second row, still maxed out for my comfort, which is also behind my driving position, by the way. So as you can see, I can give my third row passenger like an inch or two and still have enough space. So it really is a true 8-seater in my opinion. So back here, I'm sure you can see what I'm looking at. You have 2 monitors, one on each side. They can connect via Miracast, USB, or HDMI, so you can watch your Netflix or mind your stocks or something while you're driving. 2 USB-C ports, a 12-volt charger, and your own climate control panel, as well as a huge sunroof on top. You have a really solid cup holder / armrest, and these seats fold 40-20-40 for ease of ingress for your rear passengers. And yeah, look at this space. Like, guys, what's up? And the leather, by the way, the Philippine market gets it default in tan, but also on an order basis, you can get a maroon or beige interior if you prefer. Inside the new Nissan Patrol, it's huge. So I'm 6'2" and I have so much space. Right now, this power adjustable steering wheel is pushed all the way back, but as you can see, no problem here. In front, you have 2 14-inch screens out here. One for your gauge cluster, one for your infotainment. A push button transmission, drive mode selector, capacitive buttons on the steering wheel, wireless charger, 12 speaker clip system. And one of the biggest features here is in the camera, you have your normal 360-degree around view monitor, but they also have it in 2 new modes, which is one is the ultra wide view, which you can spread out between both screens. So think of it as kind of like a rear cross traffic alert, but for the front. So if there's something here or on the opposite door, opposite side, blocking your view when pulling out of a parking slot or something like that, you can basically see around the corner using the cameras. And for those who want to off-road or maybe avoid some obstacles in city driving, it also has the invisible hood feature, so you can see a semi-live view of what's going on underneath the car as you move forward. Notably, the Tri-Zone climate control is taken to the next level, so Nissans are usually known to have great aircon systems, and they added this little thing which handles the biometric cooling. So the climate control doesn't just take in the temperature of the cabin, it measures the temperature of the occupants and adjusts itself accordingly, which is pretty fancy. So right now it's a cold day, so we're not feeling it yet, but that's a pretty interesting feature. That's it. If you can hear that, that's the cooled box here in the center console underneath the big Patrol marking. You have a really deep wireless charging pad, so people with like iPhone Pro Maxes or Ultras will fit in there no problem. This handbrake is over here on the side, which kind of reminds me of a foot brake, but thankfully it's not like the previous gen Patrol. It's an electronic handbrake, but you have the switch right here, and as well as the memory seat functions for those who want to share the car part-time with their drivers maybe. Alright, so third row is good, second row is great. First row, yeah. Now let's take this for a drive. Quick spin. So under the hood, you have the new 3.5-liter V6 twin turbo, which makes 431 PS and 700 Newton meters of torque. Match that to the 9-speed automatic transmission, which you control with a push of a button. Two things stand out right away comparing this to the old Patrol. First of all, the engine is much more quiet, and the cabin is much better insulated as well. The old one kind of surprised me with how much I could hear inside, considering it's a luxury SUV. But this one really does feel like I'm cocooned from the outside world. Plus, if I want to outrun the outside world, it speeds up like no one's business, because while you do downsize that engine up front, it still makes around 20% more numbers than the previous one. Suspension, so as mentioned, this has the adaptive air sus, and yeah, it's plush. The seats, the quilted leather, meaty steering wheel. You have a really commanding view of the road as well. Is it worth 5.385 million pesos? I'm not a luxury SUV buyer, but I think if I was in the market for one, it's really impressive. So this is just a first look, so make sure you stay tuned to our YouTube channel for our full review next time. Make sure to like and subscribe.